Hello, everybody. Welcome to the JD Theory. Today, we're going to be doing a tier list of Marvel supervillains. That's right, we did the superheroes. We got to talk about the supervillains. What better way to do it than a tier list video? Now, if you're new to the channel, go check out that heroes ranking. I already looked through the list a little bit. There's some heroes on here. I'm just going to sort them out, toss them in the N/A category. So if you want my opinion on them, go check out the other video. But here, we're doing the villains part 2, starting with Abomination. This is a character that I really don't have any strong feelings towards in either direction. Hold on. Abomination. He's Hulk, correct? Let's see, yeah. I don't know, he's pretty lame. He was in the Hulk movie. Not a significant villain, in my opinion. Maybe he's Hulk's main villain. I haven't read the Hulk comic books. Shoot me if you want. But I'm probably going to chuck him in the D tier. I don't think he's horrible. I'm not really pulled by his character. Maybe that's on me. Next we got Absorbing Man. Don't know who you are. Agatha Harkness or Darkness? I don't know. Don't know who you are either. We're just gonna keep it pushing, I guess. Let me do some filtering. Airwalker, Anubis. Not sure who any of you guys are. But I do know who Ares is because a lot of Thor's villains are just Norse mythology. So, and he was in one of the Thor movies. I can't remember if it was the first or the second. Those two movies kind of blend in with each other. But Ares, he's really cool. All right, so I'm probably going to chuck him in the... probably the B tier. I think Ares is dope. What is he the god of, man? Is he the god of the underground? I don't know. Let's see. Ares Marvel. We might do that a lot. We might do a lot of Googling just because it's fun, right? The Greek god. Well, obviously. But what's his powers? Oh, he's the son of Zeus, monarch of Olympian gods, wife Hera, worshipped as the god of war. That's right. How can I forget that? All right, the god of war, Ares, going in the B tier. Pretty good, pretty cool. Who do we got here? Answer. Don't know who you are. Not at all. Neither for this guy. Who are you, man? Arcade. Who the hell is Arcade? Alright, whatever. Arcade we're going to chuck in the N/A category. Then we got Apocalypse. Okay, so here's a big hitter. A really big hitter. World-level threat in the Marvel Universe. I don't know too much about Apocalypse. He hasn't been in any of the movies. At least the ones I've seen. If he ends up in later MCU movies, sure. But from where I've seen him, I've only seen him in like videos talking about comic books, and he's always a massive threat. I think he's cool. Apocalypse, probably gonna throw him in the A tier, man. I mean, these really big, bad, universal level threats, I get down with that, man. I like the Thanoses. If we're talking DC, I love Darkseid. Yeah, I'm all for it. Give me Apocalypse. Who do we got here? We have Armadillo. And then Arnim Zola. Okay, I don't know who you guys are. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to chuck a few guys straight to the N/A category. Who are you, Atlas? I don't know. You seem familiar, though, Atlas. I don't know. Avalanche, Azil. Yeah, man, these are not looking familiar. They're not sounding familiar. Baron Morado. You sound familiar, though. But not familiar enough. See, I'm a little rusty. We got Black Widow. who I think I hinted at. We have some crossover with these anti-hero-like characters. If you want my opinion on Black Widow, go to the other list, and you'll find her. We did the heroes, as I said at the beginning of the video. Just gonna keep sorting out some of these names. Beetle? Come on, man. A lot of these are like dupes of other characters. Like is Black Spectre just Spectre evil? You know what I mean? Bastion. Baron von Zemu. God damn it, who are you people, dude? There's a lot of Barons in the MCU, apparently. Well, let's just talk about Blob for a second, alright? This is, at least in the X-Men movies, kind of a throwaway little mini-boss for Wolverine. It's a funny scene. It's great. Very memorable. I don't really care too much for Blob, but I think he's a good comedy relief character, so I'm at least going to put him in the C tier, inoffensive, I'm not mad about it. Ooh, next we got Bullseye, which I'm just going to filter a few more of these while we get to Bullseye. Then once the N/A category gets really big, we're just going to move it to the top and work with what we got. But Bullseye we have right here. Okay, so obviously he is Daredevil's main rival, right? But the movie he was in, kind of trash. He does appear in the Daredevil show, right? Later on, it's been such a long time since I've watched Daredevil. But Bullseye is really badass, you know? So no matter how bad the media representation may have been, there's always points for just being a badass character. I'm probably gonna also put him up in the B tier, you know? Shout out to Bullseye. Who do we got here? Calistro. This ad keeps popping up at the bottom of the page. Sorry about that, guys. We got Carnage next. Now, Carnage... Okay, when it comes to, like, edgy Spider-Man villains, I'm really not too in love with with any of them, really. I mean, I'll talk about Venom when we get there, but Carnage is a little bit... I don't know, it's a little over the top, little extra edgy. I feel like this character only exists because of, like, pop culture influence. I don't know. You could probably say that about any fiction to ever exist, right? But Carnage specifically, I don't like him at all. Well, that's not... Alright, he is a symbiote, or a symbiote, however you want to pronounce that, but, do I drop him in the F tier? Probably, he's not horrible. I'm gonna put him in the D tier for now. Maybe I'll change my mind and, stricten up a bit. Get a little more strict on the list, but for right now, whatever, man. And yeah, we're just keep chucking these guys away as I'm talking. That's what I'm doing. And next we got Phoenix. Okay, so Jean Grey obviously had the Phoenix inside of her. She turned into this big bad villain. The third X-Men movie was all about it. But where do I want to put Jean Grey on the list? The Dark Phoenix was a huge threat. Even, like, Magneto didn't even stand a chance. Only Wolverine's insane self-healing ability was really the only thing keeping him in the match. And obviously his connection with Jean Grey on a personal level, romantic level, if you'd even go that far. But I think Phoenix is pretty dope. I like how she just offs Cyclops at the start of the movie like he's nothing, dude. They really built it up as a huge threat. Yeah, Phoenix, I'm probably going to go A tier, probably even over Apocalypse, just because I'm more familiar with her. If this wants to work, if this tier list wants to work with me. There we go. Yeah, Phoenix at the top of the A tier for now. No S tier villains, but we will get there. And I think most of you guys know a S tier villain when you see one, which I think I see one coming up right now. I'm just gonna move a few of these bums out of the way. We got Doctor Doom, baby, and yes, Doctor Doom. He's that guy, bro. He really is that guy. Probably, I mean, what more is there to say? Doctor Doom has to go in the S tier, bro. The amount of pop culture influence Doctor Doom just has, it's insane. He was never even in, like, a big MCU movie. Like, we gave all those to Thanos and what's that robot's name? Ultron. We never gave Thanos, I mean, we never gave Doctor Doom that big spotlight, it's really a shame, because Doctor Doom is the face of, like, Marvel villainy, at least in my opinion. And, dude, yeah, the mask. If not anything else, the mask alone. Think of MF Doom, rest in peace. Even The Weeknd started wearing, like, a MF Doom mask, and it all traces back to the Fantastic Four's biggest enemy, Doctor Doom. I love him. All right, Dr. Octopus. Wow. We're coming out swinging, aren't we? Now, Doc Ock, obviously the main protagonist in the second Amazing Spider-Man movie. I don't know. Where do I put Dr. Octopus? You could argue the second one was the best Spider-Man movie. And Doc Ock is a really strong villain. Having all those metal arms, dude, you could do a lot of damage. I mean, he was a really tough fight for Spider-Man. I think Doc Ock in S tier. I think he's justified there. He's going to be below Doctor Doom, but what can you really knock him for, right? The only way you're beating him is if he has, like, a technology malfunction, or if you're just infinitely stronger than him, of course. But, speaking relative to scale for a street-level villain, he's pretty freaking powerful, dude. And he's just cool, man. He's cool. Just the concept of a Doc Ock works for me. Next, we got Dracula, which, yes, it's literally Dracula, because Marvel, I believe they own the rights to a lot of those classic horror movie stuff. I know DC owns a ton of them, but yeah, let me just put some people right over here. Chantress, you sound familiar. Let me just move these people up. Executioner, Fancy Dan. Who are you people? Brother. Yeah. Just keep them going. Few more. Just to get it nice. See, dude, every time I record one of these videos, I'm like, why didn't I just do this part before I started? But then, like, when you're in the middle of making the video, you're like, I don't want to stop now. I just want to keep going. Is that Jigsaw? You're kidding, right? There's no way it's like Jigsaw, is it? That'd be ridiculous. And this would not be the place to talk about that. Doesn't feel appropriate to the tier list in the spirit of it. Alright, but yeah, we're going to talk about Dracula. As a character, Dracula is really cool. I'm not really too sure of Marvel's adaptation of Dracula, though I think they did, like, dude, did Marvel do an anime of Dracula? Because I think I watched that, if they did. Either way, I'm going to put him in C tier, just because Dracula is cool. to begin with, Marvel or not, right? We all like Dracula. There's some old classic movies. What were the ones from like it was either like the late 80s or early 90s. Those were pretty good. Haven't seen them in a really long time. Ebony Mao. Dude, some of these characters I only know from playing Marvel Snap. If that's bad, then, be mad about it. The Griever, Hammerhead. Dude, what are these guys? We even got Hawkeye. Was Hawkeye a villain? I don't know. High Evolutionary. That name your name is a statement. But we're just gonna keep it pushing. Keep it pushing. Iron Maiden, really? Did the band get compensation for Iron Maiden being used as a villain? You gotta wonder. Yeah, we're getting most of the filtering out of the way now, so we don't have to do any of it later. Null the Symbiote God. See, sometimes I see these villains and I'm like, I really need to look into that. It's like, that sounds really cool. Who are you? Hold on, I'm looking at the list and I think I moved somebody into the N/A that I shouldn't have. Yes, I did. Cottonmouth. Now, the mistake is easy to make because Cottonmouth, you usually just call him the purple suit guy, right? But, dude, if you have watched Jessica Jones, it's the show that precedes Daredevil. After you watch the first 2 seasons of Daredevil, you're supposed to start Jessica Jones, and the stories, they all kind of intersect with each other, because then Jessica Jones leads into Luke Cage, you get the Punisher, they're all connected, right? But I tell you, the best villain across the entire Marvel Netflix universe, definitely Cottonmouth. And I'm actually going to put him in the S tier, because I just think he really is so evil, and his ability is super awesome. He could speak to you, and if you can hear him, you will obey what he does. So he has this pretty much a mind control power through his speech. And one of the best parts of Jessica Jones was... Alright, I'm just going to drop things on my desk now. Sorry about that for the audio. Yeah. That definitely peaked some audio, but whatever. Yeah, the best part about Jessica Jones is every time they're trying to come up with these extravagant plans just to get their hands on him, because he does have this ridiculously overpowered ability. Let's Google him, see if how they would describe it. Cottonmouth Marvel. Wait a second, dude. Am I confusing him for a different character? Oh my god, Cottonmouth is Luke Cage's villain. Who is purple suit Jessica Jones? Who am I thinking about? Kilgrave. Okay, so everything I just said for Cottonmouth, I meant it for Kilgrave, who we're just going to find here real quick and move him straight up. Because I just did a big ol' confused rant in the wrong direction. A, B, C, D. Where's Kilgrave? Kilgrave, Kingpin, Claw, Craven. Don't tell me. After all that, is he not even on this tier list? No, dude. Wow, this video is gonna suck. I just went like on a 5-minute rant about a character that's not even on the tier list. Are you guys seeing him? Because I'm not. Did I move him up already? Kilgrave. Don't think so, dude. Don't think so. Alright, well... Kilgrave is an S-tier villain. Cottonmouth, on the other hand, I did watch Luke Cage, and that's probably why I got their names mixed up, because I just binged-watched all these shows at the same time. Cottonmouth, I'm probably going to put in the... probably C tier. He was like a businessman kind of villain in the show. I'll put him right above Dracula, under Blob, because I'll put him above Blob, for Christ's sakes. Nothing crazy. Yeah, wow. Big mistake there. Electro, now we have the Spider-Man villain. Now, Electro, I'm probably going to put Electro in the, I don't know, in Spider-Man's very extensive rogue gallery. He doesn't stick out to me too much, but I do think he's really cool. You know, falling in a vat of electric eels. That's how you get electric powers. Noted. But yeah, but beyond the ridiculous origin story, I think who played Electro in the movie, was that, it wasn't Jamie Foxx, was it? I don't know, whoever, Jamie Foxx, amazing actor, but I don't think he really killed that role. You know what I mean? I don't think that was his his best work. Kilgrave, is there David Tennant on the list, maybe? Because some of these guys are more known for their name. Let me just check real quick. Yeah, no David Tennant. Yeah, I guess no Kilgrave. No Kilgrave at all. It's like, maybe I missed him. Maybe I missed him even while double checking. Who knows? I am the type of guy to completely oversight something like that because I am very loose in the head sometimes. But okay. Elektra, we have another villain. She kind of plays like this Catwoman kind of role in the Daredevil universe where she's almost like a romantic interest, but she's like this assassin. Yeah, she's really cool. Elektra's really cool. Probably going to put her in the A tier, above Apocalypse, below Dark Phoenix, just because of the scale of Phoenix and that whole story leading up to that moment was really big. But yeah, we're going to go A tier for Elektra. Now let's filter out more of these guys, dude. Hydro-Man. Ironmonger. Wait, were you in the... Ooh, are you in the movie? Kang. King Cobra. Claw. Why do you look familiar? You're in Marvel Snap. I don't actually know you. Don't try to gaslight me. Linimal, let's keep it moving. Man-Ape? Dude, who... Oh my gosh. Dude, Marvel has some crazy character names and just character designs and some ridiculous stuff in here. But yeah, we're going to keep this going, keep these ridiculous characters out. I guess while I'm doing this, I'll talk to you guys a little bit. Uploads are going to be a little more consistent. I was off today. Well, I'm recording this on Wednesday, the 26th. This video might not come out for a while because I need to do the War Games video, which will come out soon. If you're watching this, I probably already did the Raw review, already did the War Games prediction, and then we're going to have to do the War Games grading video after that. So that's what's cooking right now. on the channel. Onslaught, another character that looks really cool, but I only know them from Marvel Snap. I have really no knowledge of these characters outside of that game, and that doesn't exactly tell me anything about them. It's just their face on an image. So all those characters, unfortunately, I am going to toss you away. The rest of these dudes, and we're just going to keep this train going. Prowler does sound familiar, but I'm not sure. Psycho Man, Puppet Master, who are these dudes? Come on. Dude, how many villains are there? And we did Scarlet Witch in the last video. If you want my opinions on Scarlet Witch, go watch the hero list. And you can watch me sort out names again, as I'm doing right here. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move the N/A category to the top. We're done filtering for now. Maybe in like 20 minutes we'll get back to it, because eventually we're going to have to. But yeah, we're moving you to the top, and we're going to just focus on the tier list, right? So we have an S tier so far, Doctor Doom, Doc Ock. Who else is going to be worthy? Now, Enchantress. What do I know you from? Enchantress. Marvel. Who are you from? Asgardian Sorcerer. I might only recognize you from Marvel Snap, so you're another one who is unfortunately ending up in the massive N/A category. After that, we have Galactus, who is another one of these world-level threats, but we see him in combat with the X-Men rather than the Avengers for whatever reason. I guess he got beef with them. I forget what the whole situation was. I remember the movie not being very good, the X-Men with Galactus, but I think we're going to just put him in the B tier, honestly. I don't think he's as cool as an Apocalypse, as a world-level threat. It just doesn't do it for me. But this next villain, absolutely essential in Marvel's catalog, and especially their big seller, Spider-Man. His best villain is most likely Green Goblin. Now, Green Goblin easily going in the S tier. Gonna put him above Doc Ock. He's just that good. And let's be honest, man, Spider-Man probably has the best rogues gallery, maybe out of any superhero, but in Marvel, no competition. The only one I could really think of putting up a good fight would be Batman, but that's a whole nother video. That's probably going to be next week by the time we get to the DC and the DC heroes and villain list. Grim Reaper, now I'm well aware he just plays the role of Grim Reaper in the Marvel Universe. But I really don't know what that means, and I think it's a little ridiculous to have like a Grim Reaper character in Marvel. And I know in the comic books, they're very inconsistent on who the Grim Reaper is. Like, Grim Reaper, is he Death? Because Death is a lady in Marvel that Thanos is trying to impress. So, I don't know. It's a little sloppy. I'm just going to put him in the F tier because I think it's a little unnecessary, right? Then we got Hela. I believe she is Thor's sister, right? She's a sister of Loki and Thor, at least in the movies. She's evil, obviously. She's here. She's the main villain in Ragnarok, right? It's Ragnarok where she's the big fight at the end. Yeah, definitely the best Thor movie, and probably Thor's best villain in theaters, but I'm not crazy about her. I'm just going to put her at the top of the B tier. I do think she's better than a lot of the competition in the B tier, just for on-screen appearances, I'm actually going to move Bullseye above Galactus and Ares just because he's just way cooler. Can we just be honest? If you get a cool design, a cool name, you're a cool character, you get a couple extra points. That's how this works, all right? I'm just a person susceptible to character design. Hold tight, just 1 minute, 1 minute. We are back. Okay. Just had to blow my nose. Do these in one take, one shot. Very low editing. I like that. That's the type of videos I like to watch. Just uncut, long videos. And maybe some like-minded people will find this channel who enjoy that type of content. But Hobgoblin, you're kind of like a Carnage situation where we already had a version of you that's way better. You don't need to exist. And I am going to throw Carnage in the F tier. He'll be at the top, though, because he's the best. I'm going to put Hobgoblin above the Grim Reaper. Why does Hobgoblin exist? Ironmonger, let me refresh on who you are. Ironmonger, Iron Man. I think I know who you are, but just to double check. Are you evil robot Jeff Bridges? Let's see. Yeah, you're Jeff Bridges. Okay, honestly, out of all the movie villains, you're a little bit better than Abomination, okay? I'm gonna put Ironmonger in the D tier, not quite F tier, but you're not in great company, alright? Juggernaut, who was actually the brother of Professor X, oddly enough, where Professor X was granted the abilities of the mind and Juggernaut the abilities of the body, but he is never really, at least in the movies, treated as a great threat. I believe in the comic books he's probably respected more, but I can only go based off what I've been given to chew on. Either way, Juggernaut is cool. He is cool, and there's a lot you could do with cool. I'm going to put him in the B tier, and I'm going to put him at the top of the B tier. Not quite A tier, just because, dude, there's really nothing to chew on with Juggernaut. I mean, he doesn't have a whole lot going on up there, but he does have a really cool design and a cool character association, so, yeah, B tier. Now, Kingpin, baby, immediate S tier. If you watch the Daredevil show, you know damn well Kingpin is going in the S tier. He's just the perfect, New York boss. He's like a mob boss. And who doesn't love a good mob boss? And personally, also a villain of Spider-Man, of course. Ooh, Green Goblin or Kingpin? I think I like the Kingpin a little more. I really do. But not as a Spider-Man villain, mostly for his work with Daredevil. And look, if... I know this is probably a hot take. If Kilgrave was on this list, I probably would have put him above Kingpin too. And all the guys under him. So that's where my heart lies. Kraven. Okay. I know Kraven had that movie come out. I didn't get around to it. I'm not crazy about Kraven. Hold on. I know he was the strongest human on Earth with no powers, and he just seeks a real challenge. That's his whole thing. I don't know. He's cool. He's really cool. I'm probably just going to put him in the C tier, though. Right above a Blob. maybe even below a blob, dude, because I'm more into things that make me laugh than things that I'm just like neutral towards, right? Leader. Oh, who leader Marvel? Let me just do a little refreshing here. Who are you at odds with? Samuel Stern. Okay. Okay, he's the arch enemy of Hulk. And what is your powers again? Because I know who you are, but of course we don't get too much of leader or really any of Hulk's rogue gallery in the movies, which is crazy because he does have some of the most strong villains. Leader powers. This is really what I'm trying to figure out. Superhuman intelligence, telekinesis, telepathy, mind control, all that good stuff. Yeah, his design is a little silly, I must say. Probably just gonna go in the C tier. Yeah. I'll put him right below Cottonmouth just because I've had less media exposure to him. Lizard. Okay, Lizard is pretty cool. Dr. Connors. Who doesn't love him? And obviously the iconic first villain in the Andrew Garfield saga, which I think the first movie was really good. I know people have their opinions on it. I thought it was great. All right? So I'm actually going to put the Lizard in A tier and probably at the top of A tier. I just like him, man. I do. A Dr. Lizard? What else what else could I ask for, right? Ooh, Loki. Loki is very interesting for me because I've had my opinion change on Loki. I used to think he sucked. I thought he was really boring. I do not like the first Avengers movie at all. But when it's all said and done, I think he's pretty cool right now. I never watched his show. I know people really like the Loki show. Haven't gotten around to it. But I will probably put him in the... Where do we put Loki, man? He's a big deal. Thor's brother, the god of trickery. In Norse mythology, he's a very... troublesome god in paganism. He has a lot of creatures that he summons. And I forget which Marvel movie it was, but Loki is one of the best characters. I forget what it was. He's like transforming into people. I think I'm going to go A tier. He really has grown on me a lot. I'll put him right below... right above Elektra. Because he has gotten progressively funnier as the Marvel movies have gone on. That's something they've been really good with, extenuating the personality of characters. Mole Man, I'm just going to put you in F tier off principle. I don't even know if I'm overly familiar with you, but you got to go in the F tier for existing. Now, Namor, while we did have him on the hero list, I was very confused about it because I've always seen Namor as a villain. So I will give him a re-ranking because this is where he should be, honestly. So scratch everything I said in the hero list. As a villain, he is probably a B tier. I might have given him like a D tier in the hero list, but the villain list is not nearly as stacked. And the way this is shaping up, he's a lot better than everybody in C tier. I like him more than an Electro. I'll probably put him right below Ares. It's probably a good spot for Namor. Mr. Aquaman-esque character who actually existed before Aquaman, but whatever. Quicksilver, we talked about you in the hero list. And we got some filtering going on, as you can see. That's what I'm doing right here. Red Hulk. Dumb concept. I don't care if he turns red and he's bad now. I think that's I don't know, you could kind of justify Hulk being indifferent towards evil or good either way. He kind of doesn't have the capacity of thought for it. Well, when he's in Hulk mode, he's just gonna fight whoever the enemy is, right? So yeah, I think that's an appropriate place for Red Hulk. I don't know who Phoebe Cuckoo is. Or, okay, now we're getting some real deal villains. Who are you? Selene? I don't know you either. You looked familiar for a second. Shadow King? Don't know you. Don't know the Serpent. Don't know Shocker. That's a shocker. Silver Samurai. Are we serious, dude? Who the hell? All these Gokus and Samurais and whatnot. Okay, let's talk about Magneto. Let's get our focus back on the list. Ooh. You know, if there's one person who might be better than Doctor Doom, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to put Magneto at the very top of the S tier. I mean, what could you really say against Magneto, dude? I mean, the former friendship with Professor X, the relationship they maintain is extremely interesting because while Magneto is oppositional to Professor X in views, he never really tries to kill him. You know what I mean? He tries to more so thwart his plans and change his vision. And I like how it's not this thing that's like talked about. It's inferred, right? That they're still friends. You know, they don't make it obvious for you. You kind of just got to use your brain a little bit, right? And I like things like that. And I appreciate Magneto as a character. So I think S tier is the most appropriate place, especially at the top of S tier. Is Toxin another symbiote? How many are there, man? Well, there's probably a ton of them, considering it's an entire planet, if I am not mistaken. So yeah, you know, Marvel got the check for creating all of those characters. And dude, we're actually almost at the end of this tier list. So I'm thinking I'm just going to do all this sorting now. We'll bring this down a little bit and we'll finish it up. We're just going to move everything in the N/A category I'm not familiar with, like Supreme... What's your name, brother? Supreme Kree Intelligence. This is the ridiculous stuff we've been dealing with in this video. These characters that nobody even knows. I mean, if you do know these characters and they're great, then good on you. I'm glad you get to enjoy that for yourself. But I am not really of that classification, you know. I'm not I haven't been exposed to these villains. Maybe I just got to pick out a tier list that isn't 200 plus people, but then in my head I'm like, what if it misses somebody? And then it did miss somebody, because Kilgrave wasn't here, despite how many people we have. Super Skull? Dude, what? Who are you, man? Okay, we're really down. Oh, Whiplash. Alright, hold on. Are we good? We might be good to go. Hold on. You, Swordman? Is that just your name? Okay. Alright, Wizard. Get out of here. Wrecker? Stop it. Swarm? Don't know. Okay. We're down to the nitty-gritty, baby. All the characters I have left, I'm definitely familiar with, except for Pyro. So, chuck him away, too. We're going to move the N/A category back to the top. And we're not going to look at it for the remainder of this video. So, yeah, we've conquered that part of the list. Now, we just got to focus on what we have in front of us. Ooh. What's your name again, dude? I know it says it, but it's hard to read. MODOK. Now, he's a little man head floating in this, what would you even call it, man? He's like a disabled superhero. I don't know. And he's kind of like a comedy relief character. I know he has his own show now, which is very odd. But my exposure to this character is through the Superhero Squad show. Did any of you guys watch that growing up? Let me know in the comments. But yeah, very funny. I think it's just so goofy, man. I'm going to put him in the B tier because I am more positive on him than not. But I can't put him that high, right? He's silly enough to go right below Bullseye for me. Morbius. Whew. See, dude, if the movie wasn't as bad as it was, Morbius might be a pretty cool character. Excuse my nose blowing. One more second. Christ almighty. All right. Yeah, Morbius would be pretty cool if Jared Leto didn't put on one of the worst theatrical performances of all time. And then he would do so again with the Joker in Suicide Squad. And then he'd do so again recently in Tron Legacy Ares, or whatever it was called. Yeah, man, just get Jared Leto out of Hollywood. Let him focus on 30 Seconds to Mars. Maybe they could get good again. They've been pretty horrible, too. Morbius is unfortunately going to end up in the F tier. And I'll put him right above the Hobgoblin. Right below Carnage. Mysterio. Now, this guy I didn't really care for too much in the Spider-Man movie. I hate to say it, but Tom Holland is my least favorite Spider-Man. I know maybe that's sacrilegious. I know a lot of people love the new Spider-Man. Never been for me. But I will say, Mysterio, he is really cool. Very unique villain. He's the second movie, I believe, actually. The second new Spider-Man. All their names are too similar, so I don't know what it's called. No Way Home, Away Home, Homecoming, whatever. I'm going to put Mysterio in the... Ooh, he kind of does the same thing for Bullseye. Well, for me, personally, where he's, like, really cool, but I don't really... I don't care too much for him. I will put them above Hela. Because I think they're cool enough to get that high. But Mysterio, not really doing it for me. Mystique. Now, she was amazing in the X-Men movies, especially the one with Stryker. I forget what his name is, but we saw a lot of the villains able to team up with some of the heroes because Stryker's obviously trying to get rid of mutants to begin with. So yeah, Mystique, I'm probably going to throw you in the... Definitely the A tier. Very good villain. Very cool ability. Yeah, probably bottom of the A tier. That's about right. Red Skull. Now, I really don't care too much about the Red Skull. don't really love him in the movies. I know a lot of people like the Red Skull. I'm going to put him in the D tier. I just don't care. Yeah. What do you want me to say? I don't even like the Captain America movies. I don't even like Captain America that much. I think it's funny some of the old comics they did with him. I mean, if you look up some of the stuff they were doing back then, I think it's very over the top and ridiculous and oddly on the pulse of global history in the making. But yeah, Whiplash. Now, Iron Man, despite being a really good hero, doesn't have the best rogues gallery. Whiplash is one of the better examples, but still, I'm probably also going to drop him in the D tier. I don't think he's that good. I'll put him above the Ironmonger and Abomination, but I think Iron Man 2 was probably the worst out of the three. And that's just my opinion. Sabretooth, who is Wolverine's brother, I believe. At least I think so. There's a whole plot line with that we never really sink our teeth into, at least to the full extent. He's cool, probably a C tier, probably just right above Dracula, right? Ronan the Accuser. Now, Ronan is the main enemy of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Very cool, very final boss villain aura, for lack of a better word. Ronan is cool with me. I think he's going to go at the... I think I'm going to put him in the A tier. I think he's really cool. I'm going to drop him right above Apocalypse, because they're kind of similar kind of characters. Of course, Apocalypse is probably way more powerful, but Ronan just has the presence of an Apocalypse type being. Sandman. Now, very tragic character, very sad, and one of the most beautiful scenes in the third Spider-Man movie was the death of Sandman, and all the things with him being locked up and his daughter and his power being a huge inconvenience. But a very overpowered character to turn your body into sand. That's extremely powerful. The only thing holding him back is water. Because if there's no water around, you are not beating the Sandman. But yeah, all in all, I think I'm going to go S tier. I think Sandman is a justified pick for S tier. Of course, in the movies, we never got the full extent of Sandman because the third Spider-Man movie, they're kind of just throwing crap at the wall. We have what is there, 4 villains in that movie? I don't know. It's been a while. But over the top, unnecessary. Scorpion. Now, I have seen Scorpion in the Spider-Man show because my little brother was watching it. So I call it a mini 3-episode saga with my brother with Scorpion. But yeah, I don't think he's that cool. No, I do think he's cool. Let me change that. I think he's cool design-wise. Character-wise, he really doesn't need to exist. I think him and the Lizard play a very similar role in a character archetype. Probably just going to put Scorpion in the D tier. Doesn't need to exist category. Even, dude, I'll probably put him below the Ironmonger even. Just, no, that's harsh. He could be above... Right below Whiplash. Speed Demon. Let me Google you real quick. Speed Demon. Because you look familiar. I think I might know you. I certainly know the Michael Jackson song, but that's not what we're talking about here. Maybe I'll do a Michael Jackson tier list. Do an album ranking. That could be fun. Speed Demon. What do I know? Why do you look so familiar? Okay, so you're a wizard also, it looks like. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm going to have to move you to the N/A. It's not. Maybe you just look so much like other characters that I just can't tell you apart. Thanos. Guys, I think we all know where Thanos is going. Is there really a choice beyond the S tier? Now the question is, how high do I put Thanos? And I think I know exactly where I'm going to put him. Right between Kingpin and Doctor Doom. Now, is Thanos the best villain in Marvel movies? Probably. I'd say yes. But across all media, I think he's really cool in the comics. Doctor Doom is just that guy. I can't put Thanos in good faith over Doctor Doom. It just feels wrong, man. It really does. And Magneto, the story is just too good, man. The power's insane. The X-Men stuff, all the X-Men stuff is very concentrated, very fun. I love it. Winter Soldier, now, we talked about Winter Soldier in the hero list, but I feel like Bucky Barnes and the Winter Soldier are almost like two sides of the same coin. As a villain, I think he operates a lot better because I don't really love him too much as a hero. As a villain, I'll put him in the C tier. I'll put him right below Cottonmouth. He was being controlled by Hydra. He was like a military experiment. Yeah. C tier. Wasn't crazy about him. I know a lot of people love him. I'm just not one of those people, alright? And now, for the very last few, let me just take a sip of some Celsius I got here. Okay. I'll tell you right away, we are not saving Yellow Jacket for the end. Obviously, the enemy of Ant-Man. I never really cared about Yellow Jacket, and the Ant-Man movies always work best as a heist kind of movie. I don't really think the villains are necessary. I'm going to put you in the D tier. You're probably not as bad as Abomination. Nah. I'll put you at the bottom of the B tier. The D tier. White Rabbit, N/A. Don't know why you're still here. Titanium Man, get out of here. Alright, we have Vulture, Venom, and Ultron. I'm going to talk about Vulture first. He's another character who was in that Spider-Man show. I've caught a few episodes with him in it. He's a lot more prominent than Scorpion and a lot smarter of a villain. I think there's this thing where he like swaps his body with Spider-Man. It's very crazy. It's like to prevent himself from aging. Probably going to put Vulture up in the B tier. And I think I like him probably a little bit less than a Bullseye. I'm going to put him right in the middle of the B tier. That sounds about right. We're going to save Venom for last. Ultron. God, I love Ultron. I hate to do it, man. He's going to probably be in the S tier as well. The threat level felt so real when you're watching Age of Ultron. I think it's cool that he's like this AI disaster who was meant to be this security system. He comes to the conclusion he needs to wipe out humanity. For the bigger threat that's coming, he needs a kind of like a hive mind on Earth of robots to prepare for Thanos. And it makes you wonder, if they didn't take down Ultron, would he have a better chance against Thanos? Very interesting stuff that they were hinting at the end of the Ultron movie. I will put him above... Yeah, probably right up there with Thanos, man. I really like Ultron. I know a lot of people don't love that movie. That's all right. I'm a big fan of it. If you want to see exactly where it ranks in my Marvel movies, I did an MCU top 5 movie list. There's a few honorable mentions in there as well. Go check that out. But last, we have Venom. Probably has become the most viral Spider-Man character. People just think he looks cool, and they are right. Design-wise, Venom is amazing. Great design. Little edgy. Gives a little bit of a let the bodies hit the floor kind of energy, you know? But, all things considered, Venom, he's pretty cool. I gotta give it to him. I was gonna, maybe throw a curveball. I was thinking about putting him kind of low, but then I really stopped and think about it. I'm like, man, when I was a kid, I loved Venom too. You know, he's cool. He really is. The symbiote, he's the first of that. It wasn't this overdone thing. I think I'm gonna put Venom in the... I'll put him in the A tier, man. Yeah. We'll put him in the A tier. We'll put him right below Loki. Yeah. We'll put him at the top of the A tier. Who am I kidding? Who am I kidding, brother? Venom is cool. He's cool. I just don't have the same love for him that I have for the guys in S tier. But I think my gripe with him is that I wish I liked him more. I wish I could put him in S tier. But yeah, man, that's our list. I'll just run through it real quickly. Maybe some of you have audio on. S tier, we have Magneto, Doctor Doom, Thanos, Kingpin, Ultron, Green Goblin, Dr. Ock, Sandman. A tier, we have Venom, Lizard, or Dr. Connors, Dark Phoenix or Jean Grey, Loki, Elektra, Ronan, Apocalypse, and Mystique. B tier, we got Juggernaut, Mysterio, Bullseye, Vulture, Hela, MODOK, that's how you say it, right? MODOK, Galactus, Ares, Namor, and Electro. C tier, we got Cottonmouth, Winter Soldier, Leader, Blob, Kraven the Hunter, Sabretooth, Dracula. D tier, Red Skull, Whiplash, Scorpion, Ironmonger, Abomination, Yellow Jacket, and the F tier, unfortunately, Carnage, Morbius, Hobgoblin, Grim Reaper, Mole Man, and the Red Hulk. If you couldn't tell, I am not this comic book connoisseur. This is just something I want to do for fun. If you want a video with tier list about villains, there's tons of them out there by people who really do dig their teeth deep in this stuff, but that's just not me, man. I'm just having fun. Alrighty, and with all that being said, like, subscribe, share the video. Bye-bye.